Hey guys, so I am currently in a technology program at Loyola, and we are technology education. And so I was thinking about, for my internship, implementing Skype in the classroom. And I'm going to explain why I chose that and how it will help us. So the first thing I want to talk about is the SAMR model. This is something we've talked about a lot in grad school, and it really makes sense of how implementing the technology can go from the substitution stage through augmentation, modification, and finally redefinition. And what that means is you're going from just using a technology to use it to make something maybe a little easier for your students, helping them maybe even take notes with OneNote versus having the computer read to them. So that would be substitution. It then advances through augmentation when the technology you're using improves the task, which is good, but then moves further into modification if the teacher then uses that a technology that really significantly changes the whole lesson, the whole task that they're trying to complete. But finally, the redefinition stage is they couldn't even complete the task without the technology, and they really need the technology to complete that task or to create whatever they're creating. So here are a couple examples just to see a little clearer of what it looks like going from one stage to another. I'm just going to do the note-taking example, but take a minute to really read over the other ones because they really do help you understand better. So note-taking in the substitution stage could be something like taking notes on even a Word doc. In this case, they said iOS notes. It's really just using that instead of pencil and paper. In the augmentation, it's giving those students the choice, and they have multiple applications and they choose what's best for them, which is an improvement. But to further that, getting on Notability for modification would then allow them to communicate with one another and to have students share their notes. But for redefinition would be even better, was that the teacher can then give feedback instantly because the teachers would have access to the student notes. They could give, like I said, the feedback, but they could also see where the students are, how much further they need to go, where they could improve themselves. So what's the purpose of this? This technology tool, I really did sit and think, what could our teachers use that is not just another technology? What could we use that is effective and enhancing our actual teaching and enhancing the work that our students complete? And what I really came up with were these main issues that I was seeing. Our students really only know the Essex area. They know what's happening inside of Essex and from what their parents have told them, what they've seen on TV, but really don't know much else. They don't have a strong understanding of issues that other people are having in other parts of the world, let alone something outside of Maryland. Another issue is that they have really hard time with speaking and listening, and that's one of our standards. And so their speaking skills, they may be too timid, they may not they may not get their points across clearly, and they're not actively listening. So they may be compliant and look like they're listening, but really what's going on. And so using Skype in the classroom, you're going to see it's going to help that. But the final thing that I've been seeing this year is that I'm having a lot of issues with research, and I think a lot of other grades are too. Our students are having these overwhelming tasks of trying to research a topic of their choice and having so many different options of where they can research it. So BCPS 1 offers all these different websites, which is fantastic. However, when you're giving that many options, they don't even know where to start. And sometimes the links that the county sends us, they don't work. And so they may have been great links for them to get all the answers, but then we're stuck with, well, where are we going to find our information now? And the next thing is they don't even know what to search. They don't know what terms to search. They don't know what is important in finding their answers. And then finally, they come up with some really great questions, and those questions are not even answered on the different technology programs they have. Sometimes you can find it easier on actual Google, but our students aren't usually able to use Google. They can use the Kiddle, which is a kitty safe search Google version, but it doesn't have everything. So that's where Skype in the classroom comes in, and this is the technology I really would like to implement. So have you ever used Skype before? Usually we use it in our daily lives, not in the classroom. This is something that we use for long distance phone calls, whether it's with family or friends, but typically we don't think about it in the classroom. But it's really going to help us meet these standards. It's going to help us meet the ISTE standard 7, which is creating a global collaborator, which would be our students that use these digital tools, and they're going to broaden their perspectives. They're going to have a clear understanding of what's going on in the world. It's going to enrich their learning, and it's going to make them more empathetic to what's going on, or more open to all the different scenery or all the different scenery that's around them that they may not have known. Their speaking and listening, just like I said, Common Core standards, those will also be improved. They will be working together. They're going to be presenting this information, learning to find the information, and working in groups to do that, and really getting their information from listening to other people. So there's 5 different ways that you can use Skype in the classroom. So the 5 different ways are virtual field trips, Skype lessons, Skype collaborations, mystery Skype, and guest speakers. And so I'm going to go through each one so you just have a little understanding of what they are, but we will be diving deeper later this year. So virtual field trips are amazing. They are the first thing I think of when I think of Skype. And what they are is just like going on a field trip, where they would be able to ask whoever is an expert wherever they are on the field trip without spending the money. And while I think field trips are very important, actually going on real field trips, this can take you any time of the year. You aren't limited to the number of trips you can go on. You're not limited to money, or distance. This can take you to anywhere in the world and see anything you want to see just with our computers. So in this example right here, this class is going to do a virtual field trip about reptiles. And so that's something that I couldn't bring in. I can't bring in reptiles. I don't know about reptiles, so this would be a great way to do that if my class were learning about that. And then we have Skype lessons, and these are one-day topics, themes that you would do a Skype call on, a Skype conference, and it's just about one topic, like I said. So for example, I liked this one that I pulled up about a year in the wilderness, and it's a couple, Dave and Amy, who went on a year-long adventure, and the students would be able to talk to them and ask them questions about what they saw and where they were, and really learn beyond just a book. And then we have the Skype collaboration, and I've seen some that were so amazing, where a group in the United States collaborated with a school in Kenya, and they were able to solve the problem they were having with their water. And I don't expect first graders to be able to do that. It's not always going to be that intense, but just the fact that students in the US could collaborate with students in Kenya was just beyond amazing, and it's really teaching them to be problem solvers. So this would be pretty cool. But the primary math challenge that is on your screen, it's something as simple as collaborating with other 3rd and 4th graders to solve 2-step word problems in math. And that's so much more fun than even Dreambox. It's more fun than out of a textbook, and this would be more engaging, and it would mean more. And then we have Mystery Skype, and I actually completed a Mystery Skype myself, and it was amazing. And this is when our students would ask yes or no questions to whoever is on the mystery Skype with them to figure out maybe the location they are, what state they're in, what country they're in, maybe to find out their job. It was very fun, and the students really have to learn to collaborate with this. And then you have guest speakers that are just simply authors or organization leaders, and they would just speak with your students, asking and answering questions. So here are 10 reasons why you should use Skype in the classroom. I found this on the Skype in the Classroom website, and I thought it was a really great read. Just building that classroom community and teaching empathy. Like I already said, they will be so much more empathetic if they know what's going on in other places outside of their own community. Again, they're collaborating. They are communicating. You're utilizing innovative technology, which is what this is all about. Involving real world scenarios, again, back to that empathy, back to the community. And then taking students places they would never go. I have never been to many places, so I can't imagine at their age getting the opportunity to see these places or talk to people from these places. Again, creating problem solvers, solving these issues that may seem even above them. You would be surprised with what they can do, and engaging students and making it fun for them. So here's how I plan to do this. I'm going to be creating a technology committee and a plan. And that committee is going to be made up of the following stakeholders, I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get the administration, our STAT teacher, and then the inquiry team leaders, which because we already meet, we're already leaders, we need topics anyway for our professional development, and mainly because it's one teacher from every grade level and special areas. So everybody would have something to come back with, and we can all use this no matter what. Kindergarten researching butterflies, 5th grade learning about the Hoover about the dams. I mean, there are really infinite amounts of ways that you can use Skype. I would like to use our students only so that we can get their feedback on what they liked, and then if we need any Skype personnel, we could use them. And what I would do is complete this action plan. This is the hope. In September, we would do another quite quick overview of how to use Skype in the classroom and sign up. And then in October, I would meet with the technology committee, which is our inquiry team leaders, and I am one of them, so that would be pretty simple. And we would meet to learn the ins and outs of Skype in the classroom. In November, I would like to push out Skype in the classroom with our inquiry groups, so our leaders would then teach our groups in very small groups how to use Skype in the classroom. And then sometime throughout December through May, even if it's just once, using Skype, any of the different versions in your actual room with your students, even if it's just a small group or the whole class. And then in May of 2019, the very end of the year, I just would like to get a survey to see how you felt about it. What did you like? What went well? What did not go well? What issues are we running into? So that's the plan, and I'm hoping you get as excited as I am, because I think this is going to be a really great opportunity for us. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to following up.